Picturesque scene of Whimsical Hollow with colorful, whimsical architecture. Townsfolk, including children playing and adults chatting, fill the streets. Decorations like bunting and pie-themed banners adorn the town square, creating a festive atmosphere. The interior of Mr. Bumblefuzz's bakery, overflowing with eccentric baking tools and funny decorations like cartoonish oven mitts. Mr. Bumblefuzz, a plump man with a big grin, is stirring a large bowl filled with a bizarre mixture, surrounded by flour clouds and a playful cat, Whiskers, chasing a rolling dough ball. A vibrant scene of the Great Pie Contest in full swing, with participants setting up their stalls. Mrs. Butterbottom is seen arranging her perfectly baked apple pie, and young Timmy, with flour on his cheeks, is excitedly presenting his blueberry pie to the crowd. Mr. Bumblefuzz unveiling his giant, colorful surprise pie on a decorated table. The pie is comically oversized, topped with sprinkles and odd decorations. The crowd of townsfolk, with expressions of curiosity and delight, gather around, eagerly waiting for a slice. A comical moment as old Mr. Tittles takes a large bite of the surprise pie, his face showing disbelief. The crowd leans in closer, mouths agape in anticipation, with various expressions of excitement and confusion, all set against the backdrop of the bustling contest. A comedic close-up of Mr. Tittles spitting out the rubber chicken, which is flying through the air. The crowd erupts in laughter, some holding their bellies, while others point at the absurdity. Colorful pies and decorations fill the scene, amplifying the hilarity. A joyful scene, capturing the townsfolk in fits of laughter, some rolling on the ground, others holding their sides. Mr. Bumblefuzz, with a beaming smile, is joining the laughter, flour on his face, with the colorful pie remnants visible in the background. A festive ending scene where Mr. Bumblefuzz stands on a small stage, proudly holding a comically oversized trophy shaped like a pie. The townsfolk cheer and clap with confetti flying through the air and smiles all around. A banner overhead reads, "Greatest Humor," in bright, playful letters. Inside the bakery, Mr. Bumblefuzz in the middle of a chaotic baking session. Flour and ingredients are flying everywhere. Bowls are tipping over, and his cat Whiskers is sitting in the middle of the mess, curiously watching. Mr. Bumblefuzz has a determined but comical expression, stirring a giant bowl filled with strange ingredients like pickles, bubblegum, and chocolate. Whiskers, the clumsy cat, accidentally knocking over a bowl of flour while trying to catch a rolling ball of dough. The bakery is filled with clouds of flour, and Mr. Bumblefuzz, covered in white powder, stands in the background, looking both surprised and amused. Mrs. Butterbottom's pie stall at the contest, neatly organized with perfect apple pies. She stands proudly behind the table, wearing a floral apron, with her pies gleaming in the sunlight. There's a sign above the stall that reads, "Best Apple Pie in Whimsical Hollow." Young Timmy at his contest stall, a cheerful boy with a big grin on his face. His blueberry pie is slightly messy but full of charm, with blueberries spilling over the edges. He is proudly presenting the pie to the crowd, with his hands on his hips, beaming with confidence. A large crowd gathered around in the town square, eagerly watching the pie contest unfold. Faces of different townsfolk, children on their parents' shoulders, people pointing and whispering in excitement as Mr. Bumblefuzz prepares to unveil his surprise pie. The contest judges, two serious-looking old men and a cheerful lady, sitting at a long table, ready to taste the pies. Their expressions range from excitement to skepticism as they prepare to judge the various entries, with a row of pies lined up in front of them. A dramatic moment where Mr. Bumblefuzz dramatically unveils his surprise pie by cutting a large slice. The pie is overflowing with strange ingredients like gummy bears and sprinkles, and the crowd looks on in amazement with some giggling in anticipation. The scene after the rubber chicken surprise is revealed. The crowd is rolling on the ground, laughing uncontrollably, while Mr. Bumblefuzz stands proudly with his hands on his hips, chuckling at the unexpected success of his joke. The rubber chicken lies next to the pie, and Whiskers the cat looks at it curiously. A cheerful award ceremony in the town square, with a stage decorated with colorful banners and flowers. Mr. Bumblefuzz, still flour-covered and laughing, is presented with a comically oversized trophy that says, "Best Humor," while the crowd cheers and claps. A whimsical mural in Whimsical Hollow, celebrating the legendary rubber chicken surprise. It depicts the moment of the rubber chicken flying out of the pie, surrounded by laughing townsfolk and Mr. Bumblefuzz with a gleeful expression. The mural is bright and colorful, capturing the joy and humor of the event.